Okay, it's 3:15. Welcome to the Permit Review Committee of the Chicago on Commission Landmarks. Let me start with a roll call. Commissioner Hughes,
Present, I can hear and see you.
Commissioner Yekovich,
Present.
and then Rafael Leon, and sitting in for Commissioner Wong, who is unable to conduct the meeting today. So we do have a quorum. Earlier this year, Governor Pritzker signed Public Act 101-0640, making certain amendments to the Open Meetings Act so that we, along with other boards and commissions, can continue to host virtual meetings during the COVID-19 public health emergency, provided that certain conditions are met. One of those conditions is that I, as head of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks, determined that an in-person meeting of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks is not practical or prudent. I want to make sure our virtual meetings meets all the conditions of the Opening Meetings Act as amended. Therefore, I want to state, pursuant to the newly created Section 7E2 of the Open Meetings Act, that I have determined that an in-person meeting of this Permit Review Committee of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks is not practical or prudent. I also made a determination pursuant to the newly created Section 7E5 that because of the disaster as declared by the governor, it is unfeasible for at least one member of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks or its chief administrative officer or its chief legal officer to be physically present at the meetings. Pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Commission on Chicago Landmarks on June 4th, 2020, regarding the chairman's emergency rule-making powers, I issued emergency rules governing the conduct of remote public commission meetings and provisions for remote public participation. This was effective June 23rd, 2020, and it was in response to the COVID-19 emergency. These rules were posted on the Commission's website. In line with these emergency rules, today's regular Permit Review Committee meeting is a virtual meeting being simulcast to the general public via live stream. Permit Review Committee meetings have been held virtually since May of this year. Meetings are structured to minimize the chances for technical difficulties. Members of the general public have been encouraged to submit written statements in advance of the meeting, and any comments received have been posted to the Commission's website and are available for public view during the virtual meeting at www.chicago.gov/CCL. Members of the public desiring to speak at today's meeting were required to register before the meeting. Applicants and their representatives, as well as the alderman, were asked to contact staff if they desire to speak, and they will be able to do so after the staff presentation on a specific project. No one registered to speak on any of the agendas in today's meeting. Those will start the meeting. And let me also make an announcement that item number 2, the property located at 4850 South Kimbark, we are deferring that transaction at the request of the property owner. So the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the previous meetings for the meeting of November 5th. The minutes were circulated to the commissioners, and I will entertain a motion to approve them.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Yekovich, seconded by Commissioner Hughes. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, and the minutes are approved. The first item on the agenda is the property located at 1100 West Fulton Market. This is in the Fulton Market district. There is a proposed new 4x4 illuminated round sign with an opaque background on a former masonry stair enclosure above the east parapet, approximately 29 feet above grade, and a new storefront signage. And Larry Shure will make the presentation on behalf of the department. Larry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are back in Fulton Market. In May of 2019, the Permit Review Committee approved a proposal for rehabilitation of an existing two-story building and construction of a five-story building on the adjacent vacant lot at 1100 West Fulton Market. Earlier this fall, a new tenant for the building reached out for a review of their sign package because one of their proposed signs on the east elevation is greater than 24 feet above grade. City Council approval is required, therefore also triggering Permit Review Committee review. As you mentioned, the applicant is proposing to install a round sign. It contains kind of an H logo and a former stair enclosure on the east parapet. It's, as you said, 29 feet above grade. It's an illuminated logo with an opaque face. The Commission has previously approved parapet signs at 1001 West Fulton Market and 905 West Fulton Market. The sign is similarly located facing the side street rather than the primary view corridor along Fulton Market. The next slide is just some dimension details and attachment details. Due to the small size of the sign and its location on a secondary street in the district, staff is recommending approval with the condition that the attachment be located within mortar joints and no conduit should be visible. Staff further recommends that the illumination should be dimmable in order to adjust the lighting levels to those required by the sign code. In addition to this sign, which does require PRC review, they are also proposing a number of other signs above the storefronts and on the masonry piers for the Fulton Market side of the building. You can see in this graphic, there's a wall sign proposed over each storefront. These are about 11-inch high letters mounted on a raceway. These individual letters will be illuminated and the raceways will be painted to match the masonry, and all attachments will be at mortar joints. And again, all conduit must be hidden. The next slide, shows a little bit about the detail of the proposed blade signs. These are 1 foot 5 inches in height with illuminated letters and logo on an opaque face, and they're about 3 inches in depth. Again, these will be attached at the mortar joints. These signs, all 6 of them, do meet historic preservation guidelines, but they were included in this submittal so you could get an overall feel for the signage as an overall package for this building. So we are recommending approval with a couple of conditions that I touched on in that presentation related to the location of the attachments and the illumination of that signage. That's it for my presentation. I believe that the applicants are also on the call if you have any questions for them.
Thank you, Larry. Can we hear from the applicant if the applicant would like to make a statement?
My apologies, I couldn't find the unmute button. My name is Amber Tippett. We're from Herman Miller. And as Larry went through, that's the proposal that we have for the 6 main pieces of signage on Fulton, with the 3 main brand signs and then the corresponding blade signs, which are all facelit. And then on the secondary road of Aberdeen, we're proposing that 4 foot tall circular Herman Miller logo that would also be face and edge. And any other questions around the proposed recommendation that Larry made for the 2 parts where it needs to be in a conduit and dimmable? I can have Ryan probably talk to that if he's part of the people that are on the meeting, but we have talked through that at Herman Miller, and I believe that both of those are doable.
Okay. Let me just a point of clarification. Are you the tenant or the property owner?
We're the tenant. Herman
Okay.
Miller would be the tenant.
And the property owner is okay with this sign?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Commissioner Yakovich or Hughes? Comments?
Yeah, my question is, I guess, a detailed question about the the attachment of the sign, the larger Herman Miller logo. Is the attachment detail? Can you go back? Yeah. This one here. So it's
So the-
just really attaching at those 2 points, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yes, within
Okay.
the multiple joints, yes.
Okay, great. So in the future, if this ever is transformed into something else, then that'll be easily patched and ready. Okay, sounds good. That's my question. Thank you.
That is our goal with review of all signage, to anticipate that the signs may not be there forever.
Right. And then the other ones you said were attached on a track.
Yeah, a raceway that which allows them to make less direct attachments to the building.
Sounds good. Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Well, there be none. I would like to request a motion to approve the sign as presented. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All those in favor, please say aye.
I.
And the motion carries. As I indicated, the second item on the agenda is defer. So that's it. This is probably the shortest permit review committee meeting.
It
you ever
is.
attended.
it totally is.
So happy holidays to everybody. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll move. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays until next
Happy
year.
holidays.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.